Hey, everybody, welcome. This is the Spotlight Hour. And for the audience, today's show is
Today's show is sponsored by Swift Pro for all your marketing needs. Want to be a sponsor? It's simple. Just email us for more info. Now back to the show.
Hey, listen, everybody in HBCU family. Listen, we have a great show today. This is about, and this show can help you in your daily life, your walk of life, and the students who are coming on campus or leaving campus, alumni, to the athletic director. So, listen, we want to introduce our panel today. I want to call them panel, but we're going to start off with Diana from Legacy Crypto. Then we have Rick from M.I.M.S, and then Crypto Cliff. Welcome.
Yeah.
So listen,
Thank
we want to start off and let the guests introduce themselves a little bit. Tell us, who they are and what they do and why they do it. We'll start with Diana.
All right. First of all, thank you for the opportunity to join you here on HBCU Original today. Vince, it's a pleasure. Again, my name is Diana Townsend, and I am in the blockchain cryptocurrency space. I've been in this space since August of 2018. I feel like this honestly is the love of my life. Just being in this space, there's so many different avenues that you can generate and make revenue. For me, I feel like I fell in love with the concept of a node. And a node means it's a way for you to generate income 7 days a week, 365 days a year for the rest of your life. I consider that a legacy play. And I've never seen a business model like that before. And again, it doesn't have a respect of person. Anybody would be able to generate revenue from that. And especially with this platform that we're on today, I can't wait to get into that a little bit more, Vince.
Okay, great. So now we're gonna go right down the line. We got Rick.
Yeah, Vince, man, fired up and excited, man, to be here. And I know we got a powerful show for the people because right now we're living in one of the most significant time periods ever in history. And this is a phenomenal opportunity for those who get the right information, follow the right people, and acquire the right assets. And, that's what I've been doing, for the last, few years. I've been free from precious metals and helping people, diversify into gold and silver and blockchain and crypto as well. And we're just having a lot of fun helping people really understand what's going on with the monetary system. A lot that people don't know about the dollar. They don't understand how the Federal Reserve has a role in their financial future and where inflation and things are taking place. So I'm excited to educate. I'm excited to help people acquire assets. We have a organization called the Runners, and for the last, since 2018, we've been helping people get free and create passive income with gold and silver and really build and secure their wealth and God's money, constitutional money. And, we're looking forward to helping more people build wealth and secure their financial future and legacy. So I'm fired up and excited to educate people about money and things that they didn't know and help them get prepared for the wealth transfer.
Oh, we welcome. We appreciate it. And we're gonna move on down to Crypto Cliff.
What's going on, brother? How you doing, man? It's a pleasure to be here.
First,
It's a pleasure to be.
first of all, listen. I wanted to say. I mean, listen. I'm so glad you can invite me to your party because I see the lights behind you. Going all off. You know.
I have to have a little aesthetic in the background. Hey, man, I am Crypto Cliff, aka Mr. I Am Money, Mr. I Am Amazing. Listen, I'm a full-time investor, full-time entrepreneur, full-time mentor, published author. I've written over 40 books. This is my first published book. Made me a Fulton best book-selling author. I'm also a motivational speaker. I'm everything in telling investing, everything in telling entrepreneurship. I've taught over 2,000 students at this point, mentored over 2,000 students, created 26 millionaires, and retired 107 people. I got 32 people getting ready to walk into that millionaire mark. January, February time frame when Bitcoin hits the next all-time high. I've been a full-time entrepreneur since 2011. 2011, yeah, I bought in extremely early. And I'm here to educate people on how you can elevate yourself to become the next millionaire and how you can capitalize on this huge transformation of wealth that's happening right now.
Oh man, we appreciate you guys coming on. Listen, I'm gonna bring in one of my other partners and co-host, JL Williams. He's about to log in real quick, and he's also a motivational speaker. Let me see if we can get him. So while he's coming on, let me start with you, Diana. I mean, first of all, um, you talked about nodes and things of that nature. Explain that to the audience like they are newborn babies.
Okay, so a node. What I love about that node process is it's software. It's software that you download. We actually run ours. My company, we run ours on a virtual private server. It does cost $5 a month to run that node per node.
Mhm.
And for the most part, we probably offer right now about 15 different real world assets that node represents. 14 of them run for the duration of life. And I like it because I consider that a legacy play. It's an asset that you purchase one time. You pay $5 a month and you run it. And as the liquidity and you get to build up the community in that particular node, you'll be able to generate income for 7 days a week, 365 days a year for the rest of your life. And I like it because I just feel like we are setting a trend here within my company. It's the first time it's ever been done. We tap into healthcare, banking, ride share, a lot of different industries out here. And this is the first time that it's ever been put on the blockchain. It's brand spanking new. To date, we can't really say, well, what happened with the first project will have the same results as the second one. But what I do look forward to is it's the same team that's building it out. My prayer is that we have, if not the same, definitely better results because that particular token, our first project that we took to market was called Gala, which was a gaming token. And to
Mhm.
date, that node, from the time that it started dispersing coins to date, anybody who owned that node has been able to generate over $1.5 million per node. So that was a
Okay.
very, very successful project that my company was able to partner with. And
Mhm.
that project is all about really what it is. And that was a gaming token. And that was the
Let me
first
ask you a
time a
question
gaming
before
token.
you keep moving on. I don't want you to lose us. How does this and for our audience, which is mainly college students, some alumni as well, but mainly college students, you know, if they wanted to get into this particular game, would it be best they wait to get out of college, or could they do it while they're in college?
No,
And
I
let
would
me
say
ask you,
we're
and let me ask you before you answer that question also, how does this relate to what Cliff does and also what Rick does? Do they intertwine anyway? Can
all
our
of us are
students?
in different lanes. All of
Okay,
us
all
are
right,
in different lanes in the crypto space. There's 1,000 different lanes in the crypto that you can make money. And no, I wouldn't wait for them to get out of school. We're about to go into a market that I heard Ricardo use this example. He said it's going to be hard not to make money
okay,
just because we're headed into that space. And it's all about what your project is about. I honestly do believe in my project. It's a real world asset. And to me, just imagine, okay, so you went to Bowie State, right? So just say when you was
yes,
back in college, could you imagine purchasing an asset and you wake up every day, you bought it one time and you wake up every day
yeah,
to being able to see a profit? You do have to wait, for it. Like it hasn't, like right now, it has like a small value. It's less than a penny.
okay,
But our prayer is that as that liquidity grows in that particular project, just imagine like you're able to go to school. You wouldn't have to worry about finances. You wouldn't be worrying about eating ramen noodles every day. They always say in college,
that's right, yeah,
sometimes tuition to pay. You have a lot of stuff going on. And if money wasn't an issue, I always say, what if? Is it guaranteed?
okay,
No, it's not. It's not guaranteed. But for you to be able to put yourself in a position to purchase that asset that could potentially pay you 7 days a week, 365 days a year. My son
uh,
goes to FAMU. He definitely owns a node. And my prayer is that he's able to receive dividends from that. Hopefully, prayerfully,
Okay.
my prayer is after the new year.
Okay. Hey, Cliff, chime on in. How can our students relate to what you have going on? Explain that.
Oh, the transformation of wealth is everything that I have going on in telling blockchain. You see, what people don't realize is that right now is the greatest, and I do mean the greatest opportunity to become the next world millionaires, billionaires, and eventually first world trillionaire. And it's because the entire
Mm,
system right now is converting over into blockchain. Everything will be tokenized by the year 2030. And that's not coming from me. That's not coming from a YouTube channel. That's coming from Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock. Everything will
you
be
said
tokenized
by 2030?
by
Mm,
2030. Yeah.
mm,
So with that being said, the entire world systems, the entire world financial systems are converting over into blockchain-based systems right now.
wow.
So
Wow.
the greatest opportunity for us, especially people of color, people like us, to get off the bottom of that totem pole that we've been stuck on for over 400-500 years, is to dive into
Mm,
blockchain technology, and that is by way of diving into cryptocurrency investing.
okay. And it, like I asked her, Diana, is it easy for our students to get into, is it something they can do? Can they start off with $5?
Oh, absolutely.
What does it take?
Well, it takes you
Okay.
first off to dive into the information, dive into the knowledge. My youngest student right now is
Hmm.
11 years old, and he's at a
Whoa.
78% win ratio with trading crypto futures, which in my humble opinion is the most lucrative market on the planet, period. Right? My oldest
Okay.
student is 87 years old. I literally just got the call with her before I jumped on the call with you. Right?
Oh,
She's
wow.
87 and she's doing it. So if you want to grow while you're in school, while you're getting that education, if you want to grow and already prepare yourself for financial liberation, you need to be getting into this markets right now. You can dive into the market. You
Wow.
can buy Bitcoin. You can buy Ethereum. You can buy Cardano. You can buy Shiba Inu. You can buy those coins for $5, $10. Instead of going to McDonald's, going to Chick-fil-A, trying to get that extra meal on campus, no, guess what? Put that money
Yeah.
behind something that's going to grow for you in the long haul.
They say eat ramen noodles. Hold on now.
I know I did it when I was in school. You know what I mean? That's what I would do. Invest into yourself because that's going to continuously pay you time and time and time and time again. Case in point, when I first
Mm,
got into the crypto space in 2011, I bought Bitcoin for $127 a piece. I'm pretty sure most of the students that's on this call right now are listening to this call later on had $127 to buy a pair of shoes. Bitcoin now is
oh,
worth over
wow. Wow.
$68,000.
Wow. Wow. And
That was what, 13 years ago. Time waits for
wow.
no man.
That's
It's time to
interesting.
dive into
That's
the markets.
interesting.
Absolutely.
And then we want to get lastly, I save Rick for last because Kamala Harris just spoke about Rick, about helping black men uh you know generational, as she put it, receive generational wealth, loans for entrepreneurship, and hopefully, investment into silver and gold. Talk to us, Rick. What's going on? Explain to
Yeah,
people how, our students, how can they get into getting gold and silver?
yeah. So, like we're talking about, really, we're trying to put people in position for what we know to be the largest wealth transfer in history. And there's an opportunity if you do certain things right now with your money, with your time, and if you're, following the right people. And right now, more people are becoming aware of inflation. They're realizing that the dollar is not buying them what it used to. They're realizing that they can't go along with the traditional plan that our parents followed, where it was work 40 hours a week for 40 years of your life to retire on 40% of what wasn't enough. They're realizing that they can't rely on, government. And I tell people all the time, nobody's coming to save you. But the beautiful thing about the time that we're in right now is that you have access, you have opportunity, you have leaders and individuals like on this platform who have successful strategies to be able to hedge against inflation, to be able to build wealth, to be able to create cash flow. And so one of those things that, I like to specialize in is really helping people understand the monetary system, because that's the foundation. Once you start to view money differently and you start to really know what money is versus what is currency, what are assets versus liabilities, to create passive residual income versus, only looking for a job and trading your time into money, you start to put yourself on a different side of the wealth equation. And so you start to become a business owner, investor. But to your question, this is a phenomenal time for people to get real money, physical silver and gold.
Okay.
And that's what I specialize in. I love helping people understand that gold and silver is God's money. It's constitutional money here in the United States. Article 1, Section 10 of the U.S. Constitution. Gold and silver has been money since the times of Egypt. It's money all over the world, Africa, Asia, Europe, the Americas. And in fact, the United States dollar wouldn't have even had the world reserve, or even has at the moment, the world reserve currency status had it not been backed by gold. You see, the dollar was backed by gold. It's no longer backed by gold. But it was gold that gave the dollar credibility. It's gold that's money. It's silver that's money. And so once people understand that, you realize what you're working so hard for, what you're saving, these dollars, is not really money. It's a Federal Reserve's note. It's a unit of debt. And so you want to learn how to convert liabilities into assets. You want to learn how to, create and secure and grow your wealth. And you do that by having a proper saving strategy. One of the major things that I love about gold and silver is that there's zero third-party counter risk. Okay. And you want to be able to have your money grow for you without exposing yourself to risk. You want to do that with physical silver and gold. And silver in the last year is up about 40% on the year, and gold has done about 10% year over year for the last 20 years. And these assets are still undervalued, and this is a phenomenal time for you to get real hard money, physical silver, and I have some great.
Hey, show it again. Hey, John, man, he's sitting there trying. He laughing me up, man. I got my little silver. I got some silver too now.
Oh my!
Hey, John.
I see it.
Me and John talk all the time about leaving a legacy. And John can attest. I let him talk to you guys because he's listen. When I talk about powerful, man of God, a great speaker, orator, John J.L. Williams right here, who is my partner. Listen, I'm gonna let him go ahead and talk, and come on in. He can tell you who he is, and we talk about this all the time about leaving a legacy and for kids and helping them build a legacy. But we're still new to this. Now we do it other ways, but Jail, because he can attest.
Yeah, man. I think that this is the information is the new currency. I mean, everything that I'm hearing tonight is really about being able to empower yourself with and arm yourself with the understanding that we're living in a different time. I think a lot of people don't know about it because it's something that you have to want to pursue, want to know about. You have to educate yourself, most definitely. So you can take advantage of all the things that are here. I love what I'm hearing from everybody, and you guys are definitely extremely knowledgeable about your various industries. I love that. I really do, and so I guess my question would be, and any one of you guys could grab this, is what are the plans to educate this next generation with this kind of this kind of information? Do you have any plans to do that, or are you already in the process of doing that? And how's that working for each of you? And so any one of you guys can take that.
I'll take that question. So
okay.
I've actively coached one-on-one 876 students. I've mentored 2,000 at this point. I've retired 106 people. I've created 26 millionaires and got 32 people getting ready to walk into the millionaire market. So I have systems and networks put in place right now that have actively been creating people. And most of the people, I would say 95% of my students are people of color.
Mm.
So my number one goal is always to educate first, because knowledge is power and knowledge is wealth. Once you have that knowledge, you will never be able to get rid of that knowledge. It becomes almost like a burden on you, because once you know something, you have to do something about what you know, right? So I teach people what I know, what's been profitable for me, what's been a wealth building tool for me, so they can also produce and build wealth. But most importantly, so they can build wealth for the future generations. My goal is always generational wealth. I'm proud to say I've retired my children. I have two 11-year-old twin girls, an 18-year-old that goes to Howard. My girls have been retired for at least the last 7 years. They don't ever have to work
Oh,
for anyone.
Praise God. Praise God.
So with that
Praise
being
God.
said, my goal, thank you. My goal is to help others retire their future generations. Because you got to think about it. We've been sitting at the bottom of the totem pole too long with this stuff. We always the last people to get information about anything, because we're the last people to read information about everything. Be real. A lot of the things that are hindering us as a people are our own fault at this point, because we don't want to dive into it. We're always the last one to get the information. We are the last ones to speak on the information, to learn the information, because we're always have our back up against the wall with everything else. But in the same sense, you have to be willing to engage into the information, because information is infinite.
Yes, sir.
And information is power. So I have networks put together. I am the CEO of the Blockchain Bureau Academy, where I have over 150 people, students right now, who are actively trading in the markets, learning how to day trade the crypto futures perpetual markets, learning how to day trade the stock market, learning how to buy precious metals. We're getting ready to start buying our first plots of real estate. Group economics is the way to our liberation. Group economics. But it also comes with group education.
Absolutely.
oh, there
And
we go.
that's the part. I remember it was a company called, and you guys may be familiar with it, a company called Care Bars.
Oh
You
yeah.
familiar
Right.
with that, Ricardo?
Yeah.
You familiar with it?
Yep.
And
I still
I
got some
think
code.
yeah. So I think a lot of a lot of what definitely has to take place is that people definitely have to be educated in this whole process. So my brother, you are absolutely right. And so people have to be willing to take time to get educated so they can get liberated.
Yeah.
Right. So
Mm,
think
mm.
that's definitely key. Go ahead, sis. I want to hear you. What plans do you have to educate this next generation?
So let me go backwards and start and by saying I have a radio show here. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia,
Hmm.
and I'm always talking about blockchain, cryptocurrency, AI. And I had the pleasure of actually, when you mentioned Carrot Bars, that's why I was saying, Ricardo, are you familiar with that platform? That's actually the platform that how I knew who Ricardo was. We never had the opportunity to meet, but I used to follow him because I was in that company. So I've always
Hmm.
heard him speak. I've always followed him, and I knew that he was so knowledgeable in the space. Now, fast forward with the radio show, I had the pleasure of meeting Cliff. So I started saying to Cliff, like, more people in the world should know you. They should hear you. They should, be coached by you. They should have the opportunity to get the information that that you're sharing, because it would bless so many more people. So I started asking Cliff to come on to the radio show, and then I did the same thing with Ricardo. And then Ricardo had this vision. He said to me one time, "What do you think about me, you, and Cliff getting together and collaborating on a show?" And I said, "Okay, sounds good to me." I'll reach out to Cliff. Cliff was on board with it as well. But here's the funny thing. So we do the show or whatever, and then Vince reaches out to me and says, "Hey, he wanted to talk to me about crypto." And Vince, you have to tell me because I'm not really not sure, but I don't think you knew too much about the crypto space, right?
I'm not gonna lie. I have investments and other stuff, but I don't know anything about it. So I'm like an airhead. So you got to listen. I'm gonna slow walk this thing. So I'm gonna reach out to Cliff. I'm gonna reach out to Rick. I'm gonna reach out to yo every single other day. I'm willing to learn. And I reached out because you know what happened. I think I was just scrolling through, and Dinah, she had posted something, and I noticed somebody made a comment. I'm like, man, I can't stand weak-minded people, and I think that's what annoyed me about the one of the comments in her post. I'm like, why do people have such negative negative, I don't know what you want to call it, aura about themselves, and I'm used to being around go-getters. So I don't associate. If I don't know you're not doing anything, I don't even want to talk to you. So I reached out to her, and then she was telling me what she was doing. I said, I'm on. Just hey, let's go. So, right then we started on
So
something.
And
no,
I
and I
think
was
that's
And
gonna
major. I think, I think we always have to keep that mindset of educating,
yeah.
informing about what it is that we have. You guys have something, amazing that you guys are doing. I mean, I love this. This is like, a mutual fund of companies, and a person just have to choose exactly which one they want, or they may be willing to learn and sort of delve in all of them. So, my brother, I want to hear from you. Tell me
They
about
like Bell Bid DeVoe almost, man.
yeah,
Bell
yeah.
Bid DeVoe.
Tell me about your plans on educating the next generation.
Yeah, I mean, so I think, why this panel is so amazing because we generally have good intentions and we lead from the heart. And, we found systems and solutions that have helped us get ahead. And we know that if people acquired that same information and leverage the same platforms or systems or opportunities that we took advantage of, that could probably give them a leg up and change their life as well. And so I like to keep it simple. I like to find systems of leverage that are duplicatable, where you can create a passive income from helping
Mhm.
people acquire assets. And that's what it's about. People are looking for ways to create cash flow. And I tell people all the time, if you're relying on one stream of income, you're a disaster waiting to happen. And so
Mhm.
you have to step out there. But the hardest part for most people is that, we have been ingrained or educated and indoctrinated to think that you have to work a job, you have to be an
Yeah.
employee. And so, that process of helping somebody go from an employee to a self-employed person to a business owner to an investor, it all starts with mindset. You
Mhm.
can want to have this, success and create millions of dollars, but you're going to have ups and downs. You're going to have wins and losses.
Mhm.
These things take place in life. They take place in business. But if you have the right mindset, if you have the right mentors, if you're a part of the right community, you have a better chance of overcoming these things that are going to take place that you can't predict. And so
Mhm.
throughout my journey, and you mentioned Carrot Bars, and from that company, I still have the gold. I
Mhm.
was getting gold when it was around $1,100 an ounce. Gold is at $2,600 an ounce right now. I'll be saving
Mhm.
in silver since it was around $15 an ounce. It's over about 30 something dollars right now. And this market is so massively undervalued because of what's taking place. And it really spoke to me because I wanted a way to save my money. You see, there's a difference between investing and saving,
Mhm.
and I think that everybody's financial strategy should have those components. You should have an emergency fund, which is cash. You should have savings, which is money, gold and silver, not dollars, because a dollar doesn't save value due to inflation. And you
Mhm.
should have your investments, and the investments are great because you're going to be exposed to risk, but you have an opportunity to have greater gains, greater reward. But
Mhm.
during that time period, we've helped tens of thousands of people acquire God's money, and I have people who saved more money than they've ever saved in their entire lives because they were
Mhm.
actually saving it, in silver and gold.
I like it.
See?
I like that.
And
Hey, if
That's
you
a wake
watching
up. Hey,
HBCU,
that's the wake
that
up call.
cling should be enough for you. That cling should be a wake up call for you, right
Well,
there.
that's like the school bell. The school's in session.
like that's when I start
Now I
my
know
shows
I
off. I say sound money session, classes in session, sound money. Let's get it
I,
started.
I know they like the all the entertainment that Cliff brings behind him, but we want that cling cling too.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta have,
Yeah,
you
you know.
gotta, in this economy, I tell people, you gotta have physical assets, okay,
Yeah.
real physical assets, decentralized physical assets, physical gold and silver, and you have to
Mhm.
have the digital ones. I've made over 6 figures in the crypto space as well. It's hard not to make money, especially in bull markets.
Mhm.
But I can't hold Bitcoin. I can't clank Bitcoin. Some people have nostalgia. Like when I get books, I don't like ebooks. I like to feel the book. I like to flip through the pages.
Mm,
I'm old school. Like, I like to hold my money. But of course, everything is going digital, and you want to make sure that you have a position in digital and physical assets,
Mhm.
especially
Yeah.
for
To have
growth.
a diversified portfolio.
Yeah, yeah,
there
definitely.
you go.
So that's and I like that. That's good. And I think our kids need to know that these things are available to them. School can give you one kind of education, but it doesn't guarantee you that you can become wealthy. This here lends itself to me, the ability to be able to leverage your money and multiply it in ways that uh, that are just, it's just crazy. Like it can happen, and it happens through education. And so
Yeah,
I mean, just hearing each of you speak so fluently about what you do, I mean,
Hmm.
it's amazing. I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah,
and I'm
yeah,
just in awe. I mean, I'm
yeah.
just
I'm
being
just, I'm
I'm
just
just
I got a
being
excited.
question
real.
too.
I'm in awe of
Yeah,
your passion for what it is that you speak about. Your range of knowledge and information is just impeccable. So
Yeah,
I really believe that so many of our students need to lean in and hear this information,
yeah,
definitely.
because for them going without this and not getting this degree of information, they really cheat themselves out of a really a true education that can cause
Yeah.
them to be extremely wealthy. And like my brother said, he has retired his twin girls, and
Mm,
they've been retired for right, like that. That's like
wow,
some people, like, they can't even fathom that. Like,
I
how
can't
all of
fathom.
you guys are speaking is,
yeah,
I'm so, like, stimulated right now, because I love when people really are passionate and they know their stuff and they know their information. And so I want to continue this conversation. uh, but I would love to have a whole bunch of kids on. I mean, like
Yeah, yeah. Come
like
here, college students. Yeah,
the whole master class, uh, where you guys can really just share this information and begin a process of really, enrollment and teaching these kids how to do this, because this is just, you guys are really the future as far as um literacy, current, like, if I could, I want to say, like, currency kind of literacy knowledge. Y'all
hmm,
are like the future for that, and our kids need to hear more about what it is that you have to offer.
yeah.
It's just
I think
Absolutely.
Cliff stated it best though.
it's just amazing. I've been stimulated tonight.
Absolutely.
yeah.
I
I
think what
think
we
Cliff said
all
it the
offer.
best though. Cliff said it the best. We're behind. We're behind.
Yeah.
And I want to leave right up to it with all the accolades and everything. The bottom line, I think, what our viewers want to know: how did we get started?
Yeah. I think with everything we
I mean,
have to offer,
straight, yeah,
we call it the cross-border transactional currency. I think that's what it really, really, really is, because things right now in the world are starting to transcend borders,
Hmm.
right? We know
Yeah,
the
yeah.
United dollar is falling. We know the yen is falling. We know the pound is falling. These are all deflationary assets at this point. So what we offer is a conglomerate of different cross-border transactional currencies that are actually deflationary versus the inflationary markets that are around right now. Right?
Hmm.
There's no other deflationary asset on the planet other than cryptocurrency. That's the most
mm,
deflationary. Gold is right behind it. Precious metals is right behind cryptocurrency, right? And digital
Oh,
assets like nodes. That's also a cross-border transactional currency that's actually absolutely deflationary to combat everything that's inflationary right now. So going with this progress right here is literally teaching you how to combat the market and how to be revolutionary in your finances.
Mm, beautiful.
I got a
But
quick question.
Vincent,
So, Diana, and Cliff, you're explaining to me. So, nodes are totally different um, if I'm correct. Now, those two are separate from the crypto.
Nodes are
So,
separate from what, like Cliff teaches trading. That's completely separate.
okay, okay. Mhm. And
Ricardo is
then,
an expert in precious gold and silver. That's completely separate. So, like I elaborated a little bit on earlier, uh, it was just the combination of accountability
I'm
partners.
the, I'm the Lord.
I do business. I do business with both of those gentlemen because they are experts in their
expert.
particular area. And I
Yeah.
Hey,
love that. And they say you
hey,
are a product of the closest five people to you.
Yes,
So
sir.
I
Yes,
made it
yes,
my
ma'am.
business to want to surround myself, with Cliff. Cliff coaches me
Mm,
because you
yes.
want to partner with somebody that can take you someplace. Because just say, for instance, why do I want to partner with somebody how are you going to take me someplace that you've never been?
that's right.
Okay. Same thing
Mm,
with
Mm,
Ricardo. Like, I don't think there's anybody better. I want to know anything about precious
mm,
gold, silver, even if it's in the crypto space, even if it's in trading. Like, I've been following Ricardo for years, and then we met a year or so ago, and we have cultivated this relationship as well. And both of them have that same spirit. They serve.
yeah.
They're
mm,
experts in their area. So I had the pleasure of talking to them individually. And then it was Ricardo's vision to say,
mm,
hey, let's do a collaboration with Cliff. I said, I reached out to Cliff. Cliff says yes. So then we
mm.
were able to jump on my radio show and have that collaboration. So we haven't even said it yet, but are we going to reveal the name of
Mm-mm.
what we're
Uh,
about to do, fellas? Are we
Mm,
going to say
uh,
that?
well, before we get started, I wanted to
mm.
say to our listening audience, so, HBCU is now, we're signed up under the silver and gold structure from Rick, and we will be donating, a piece of silver to one lucky viewer out there.
Awesome.
Mm.
Um,
Money
in the
Praise
clap.
God.
upcoming, so HBCU is
Sound money clap.
will be, a deserving student, you
Yeah.
know. And then we will be
Oh
signed up as
man.
well. I'm under Diana as well, so under HBCU, and then I'll be coming under Cliff as well. So we're gonna, try to get, some of our students started. Sometimes the easiest way is to give it to them so they can see it, know it's real, and then maybe they get a little bit motivated. I think, we lack that. We just sometimes we need things tangible, and and like you said earlier, Cliff, we've been at the bottom so long.
Mm,
Um,
mm,
how do we get out of that mental defunk? You know?
mm.
I
Yeah.
think we got to
And
smell our own BS, to be honest. In order for you to look at the BS of somebody else, you got to first recognize your own BS.
hmm, yes,
And
sir.
I think we need to, as a whole, look at, okay, cool. We know what happened. We know what happened with us when it came down to slavery. We know what happened with us with the indoctrination of all the everything society entails. We know that we're the most incarcerated. We know all of the bad factors about what happened to us.
Hmm.
Now that we know it and we can recognize it, we need to move and move in unison. Point blank, period. Once you can recognize a problem, then you can finally come up with a solution to that problem. And there's no other
Yeah.
solution than financial literacy. There's no other solution to our problem than financial independence. Because once you have financial independence, you have power. And
Hmm.
that's
Mm.
what we need more than anything, power.
Wow. Mm.
Yeah.
Love
So
And
y'all
Case
most of
in
our
see,
point,
students,
right
what's
now,
funny,
while we're
John?
on this call,
y'all
case in
see
point, while
why
we're on this call right now, I'm up 112% on Zeus. I'm up 41% on Popcat. And Key, I'm up
it.
178%.
yeah.
While we've been on this
Oh
call for
man.
the last 39 minutes.
All right.
That's
Jesus.
Oh
power.
man. See, we gotta get it moving, John. We gotta get it moving.
I
Hey,
So
love
y'all
it,
hey,
see
hey,
man.
why
hey, Rick,
so y'all see why
man.
I gotta go ahead, brother.
Hey, Rick, I was saying, dude. It's funny that you mentioned about earlier about and also Cliff, slavery and everything. And most of the campuses, most of the HBCU campuses it came out of slavery. Land grants, given to, African Americans too, but they themselves should be invested into what you're doing. The whole school should be
Absolutely.
invested into what you're doing. And they're
Sure.
not. They're not.
Yeah,
This is the
I
way to
mean, I'm
generate
just like, y'all could teach classes then on a campus. I mean, this needs to be
like
something like,
Well, this is
and it
why.
needs to be
Yeah, this is you guys are seeing why, when I talked to Diana and I said it would be a good thing that we come together and bring this value, because we all are connected through the blockchain. Diana, Cliff, me, we know blockchain technology, we understand the industry, and then we layered up, into precious metals and trading. And so we all have, a degree of understanding, some greater than others in this space, but we realize that the value that we have individually, if we brought it together, we can help even more people. And this is what's really exciting, because once I saw Cliff and what he's doing with trading and his whole career, I said,
mm,
man, this brother's powerful. He we got to get him in front of more people,
yeah,
and learn how to leverage the way he's leveraging to really create money. And then I know
hmm,
the value that I bring by helping people preserve that wealth, in
hmm,
God's money, gold and silver. And then what Diana's doing, just a magnet of
mm,
wealth and creativity and networking. I mean, she's one of the best networkers that I know. And
hmm,
that's a beautiful thing, because you need somebody that has a heart that can connect to the people, that can bring people together. And so she's the glue. And so,
yeah,
I'm excited because, like I said before, you have people here who have good intentions, that have a good heart, that have systems that are dealing with real assets and the future of money and technology. And I think that the more people that we can help, the better, because a lot of people are going to get wiped out in this new economy that they're creating right now. This slavery 2.0, CBDC, UBI type of social
mm,
mm,
credit score coming out of China type system.
mm,
And the more of us that are wealthy, the more of us that have assets, the more of us, that have options, the better that we can come together, and we can buy back the block. I mean, I talk about this all the time. There are towns for sale for $1.2 million right now. We could buy a whole town, you
mm,
know, and build it up and put in,
mm,
what we do for our people. But we
wow,
first get
wow,
educated, we got to get wealthy. And so that starts by connecting and leveraging and learning, systems that we're talking about. And that's why I think, what we're doing is going to be a beautiful thing for people to be able to save their
mm,
money and grow their money through a lot of the systems that we're utilizing.
Can I bounce off my
mm,
brother real quick?
mm,
And I want to say this the most humble way I can possibly say it. And Donna, you already know I can go in. The entire
Please,
world is
Cliff.
being tokenized. Either you're
mm,
going to be a beneficiary of the tokenization of this world, or you're going to be enslaved by it. Point
mm,
blank.
mm,
Point
mm,
blank. You're either going to be a beneficiary, an investor of this new technology, this new wave, this new transformation, or you're
mm,
going to be enslaved by it. It's going to be a deeper version of enslavement. You're talking about financial enslavement. You're talking about
mm,
educational enslavement, healthcare enslavement. Everything will be completely monetized and completely monitored.
mm,
That's the system we're going in right now.
wow,
So either, I'm
wow,
going to say this one more time for the people in the back who ain't hearing us. Either you're going to be an investor, you're going to be a beneficiary of this new transformation, or you're going to be enslaved by tokenization.
mm, praise God.
mm.
Hey Vince, I
No,
got
I always wonder, go ahead. I'm sorry.
no,
I just wanted
I'm
to know.
just I came in, I'm on 1%, so I'm going to
Okay.
tap out, but I can't wait to
Yeah, we're
really
gonna
get
invite them back on
involved.
because I plan on trying to have them on, and hopefully they can just
Mm,
do a money series with HBCU if that's possible. Um, just come on as like, where you guys can come on and just, speak everything into existence with our students, our followers. Like you said, we don't want our people to be enslaved like that, and they need to wake up. Everything's not entertainment. Everything's not sports, and uh, you know, without a foundation, man, financially, like you said, we get wiped out.
Yeah. And it's not hard. We got the systems. A lot of the stuff is automated. Cliff has the systems and it's almost on auto at this point, the way they're helping people. We have the system where it's on auto, where people are saving in silver and gold. It's just an automatic, consistent thing. I mean, even myself now, I mean, you can, we call it dollar cost average. So you talked about, can you get $5 worth? Yeah. I mean, you can download crypto.com and you can get a reoccurring buy of anything, any cryptocurrency you want. Most of the major cryptocurrencies are on there. I get XRP and XLM on a consistent weekly basis, couple $100 worth. We have it to where people can automatically save in silver, gold, platinum, palladium, and the same way they save money and transferring money from their savings account just goes into a gold and silver account. And I put a couple $100 in that a week. You just have to have a habitual, practical system that is consistent. Constantly, continuously, consistently automating your wealth preservation and your the growth of your money. And so we have systems that do that, and we want to keep it simple, and that's what makes it really exciting now. It's not that complicated. You can do whatever it is you're doing now, but you just have to make sure you take your discretionary income, and like they said, not buy the Jordans with it, but actually take a portion of it and learn how to leverage it through trading, take a portion of it, learn how to actually save it properly in real money, physical assets, and also, acquire software and systems that can pay you on a residual, consistent basis. Yeah,
Definitely. And Diana, so the students, I wonder if is it possible to Cliff, can they do a group thing? Maybe some
Absolutely.
students don't, come together, put their money together in and pull in to buy a trade, is that
I would
possible?
I wouldn't suggest doing it as a group. I would suggest doing trading in general as
Okay.
a individual thing, because it's too many regulations, too many liabilities, and
Okay.
that how people are. I made this much, I put this much in. That's gonna be a headache, right? But I would say when it comes down to group education, I teach groups all the time. I have 7 coaches up under me right now that teach groups as well. So to get in and have an accountability group, I think that would be a better asset to say, okay, cool, we're going to hold each other accountable to learning the skill set. We're going to hold each other accountable to buying $10 in XRP a week. I think that's a bigger, better deal, because at that point you're on your own, whether you did it or not. You're held accountable for it. But I wouldn't pool my money together with anybody. No, absolutely not.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's not
And
recommended.
then just to leave you with something, Vince, just in the crypto space, period. I mean, there's tokens out there. We didn't even talk about, we didn't even touch on it yet. There's tokens out there that are less than a penny. Like you can put a couple $100 in there. Nothing's guaranteed, but again, we're getting ready to head into a market that just by default, with Bitcoin rising, all the altcoins are going to start to rise, and there's a possibility, because being a student, that money is sometimes limited. Their number one priority is keeping the tuition paid and making sure their housing is secured.
Right.
So to be able to take, like I show my team all the time, you can take 5, 10, 20, $30 and into a particular token and get thousands of tokens. Nothing's guaranteed, but it could potentially, one of the things that Ricardo and Cliff both have taught me, how to go to that coin market cap and read and learn about those tokens and look at the all-time highs from different things that have happened in the past. And you can really position yourself with a couple of dollars. It's not something that you need hundreds of dollars to get into. And that's something completely different that we didn't even talk about. The crypto space has so many different ways that you are able to earn. We'd be here all night talking about them, but it's not something that you need a lot of money. I always say it's 90% mental, 10% skill. You got to get your mind right. You got to make a decision, because just say Cliff's daughter is over there at Howard, my son is over there at FAMU, but I'm constantly talking to my son saying, yes, college is amazing. And I'm so proud of him. Each one of my children, one went to the military, one went to college, one worked. So I've experienced all aspects of life, but I'm talking and pouring into my youngest son saying, you have got to pay attention to crypto, college or not. You have got to
Mm,
pay attention because those loans are going to need to be paid. You know, you're coming out here, you might have went to school for something, and before you even get out of there, AI has taken over those particular
mm,
jobs, and a lot of opportunities will
mm,
not necessarily be there. So you go there and you do all the right things, but life is still life then, and you come out and you think, I remember, I think it's like Cliff, he said to me one day, even judges are in trouble because of AI. I was like, the judges? He was like, nurses and doctors. I'm like, those are the jobs that you go to school from when we grew up and you had a career for life. You were set. That's no longer the narrative anymore. So
Nope.
I'm constantly pouring into my son. You have to have a trade. And what do they say? 1 to 3% of people, and especially people who look like us, are not paying crypto attention. That's how our collaboration came about because we all have the same story. We're very passionate about what we do. We love what we do. We eat, sleep, drink. Those two always be like, hey, wake up. Don't over leverage over here. You got to pay attention to what's happening over here in the world as well. And we're always talking about this. But at the end of the day, we need to pour into this generation in college to let them know because I didn't find out about crypto until 6 years ago. We
mm,
ain't going to disclose the age and everything. But, I spent 20 years at the United States Postal Service. I spent 15 years at American Airlines, and I just finding out about crypto. And now that I'm here, I'm like, God, I think everybody in the world should know. Like, people ask you, do you love what you do or do you do it for money? I would do it for
mm,
free. This is like one of the loves of my life. And so when you meet a Ricardo and you meet a Cliff, I instantly latched on to them because you can't have that conversation at the hair salon. Everybody's
mm,
not, so when you find those like-minded people, you attach to them and
mm.
you build an amazing relationship. Now, you've only met Cliff and Ricardo for maybe a couple days. So you tell me, I feel like, what did you say? Hey, Ricardo, give me the link. Hey, Cliff, I'm getting in. I'm doing this. Diana, I want to, because like you've gone to college, very, very successful, but you still see the
Mhm.
value in it. And you
Right.
seem so excited about it that we're even sharing it to your community, which is going to be amazing because they're going to need help with those loans. And then, like college students, my son texts me all the time, hey, just $30. His favorite number is $30, right? So I send him more than that because I know him and he doesn't ask for much. And it's a lot that goes
Mm,
on with school because I pay the same bills in Tallahassee I pay in Atlanta, Georgia, because
mhm.
it's just bigger than the education. It's a lot. This college is insanely expensive. And I need these. My
Yeah.
main thing for my son is focus on that education. But still, here comes these letters from PMU. Hey, that tuition need to be paid. This needs to happen. You
Yeah.
still got to cover that rent.
Okay.
He still got to eat. He still needs transportation. All of those things happen.
Mhm.
But we're going into a season where they don't even have to wait. Think about it, Ricardo. If they were to be introduced to this market right now, they'll be able to walk into wealth on so many different levels.
They're graduating wealthy.
Let me
Right?
ask you guys a question. So, in leaving and closing.
Mhm.
So I want to just, what is the one thing if you were to speak to a college student, freshman coming in or a senior leaving, or even an alumni, what is the one thing you would tell them to do first? And I'll start with Rick within the silver and gold.
Um, the first thing I would say, of course, education. Because if you just acquire something and you don't know why you're acquiring it, then you don't really understand the value and you won't appreciate it. One
Mm,
of the other things that I would say is that one, cash flow is king. So you always want to be trying to find ways to create additional streams of income. But in regards to gold and silver, it is your saving strategy. Anybody you listen to, millionaires, billionaires, everybody will tell you you have to save your money. It's one of the first principles of starting to build wealth, and having something. So, but there's a certain way that you save money, and once you implement the proper way of saving, you will always have money. You will always have money if you know how to properly save. But we've been taught to save dollars in the bank
mm,
account, and the bank
Yeah.
that's one of the worst places to put your money because the bank doesn't give you any interest on your money. So you get no interest for putting money in the bank. They're loaning out 100% of your money, okay, through fractional reserve lending. So they're making money on your money. They didn't cut you in on the deal. And then
Mhm.
your money, the dollars, the dollars, they're losing value because of inflation. So you don't save dollars. Saving dollars is a losing strategy. Okay. So the
Okay.
proper way to
Okay.
actually, yeah. So the proper way to save while you're young is save your money in God's money, silver and gold. It's how you going to be able to grow your money without exposing it to risk
Mm.
because some people are risk adverse. Some people don't like, risk. They work hard for that money and so their risk tolerance is low and you if you want to be able to have your money grow for you without exposing you to risk, that's saving in silver. So
Mm.
that's a healthy way of saving your money because gold in fact is a tier 1 asset. Okay. Bank of International Settlements, which is the central bank for central banks, they will go to tier 1 asset, which that means is that there's zero risk associated to it, 100% accepted
Okay.
for value. So in regards to saving your money, right? Because there's a difference between your savings and your investments, and people need to understand the difference. Gold and silver are not investments; they're savings vehicles. It's how you preserve your wealth. It's money insurance. So it's how you
Oh.
save your money. Yes, that's how you have to look
Mm.
at it. It's a savings
Okay.
vehicle that allows your money to grow for you without exposing you to risk. So I would say early on, save at least 1 ounce of silver a month. And that's why I'm excited about the platform that we're utilizing now with At Cost Metals
Mm.
because we automate that. You can automatically just save 1 ounce of silver a month. But at minimum, just start accumulating something. 1 ounce a month.
Right.
This
Something.
is what you get. It's encased. It's a
Mhm.
highest asset class of silver, which is a numismatic silver eagle. It's MS 70, which is a flawless graded coin. Okay. Accumulate these assets on a consistent basis. You always have money, and then you'll be able to invest and grow your money further.
Before you had some difficulties. Cliff, you were talking about what is the one thing you can tell a college student either coming in or leaving college or even alumni, what is the one thing, the most important thing to leave with them? I guess in the introduction of what you do. So,
Never be afraid to invest in yourself.
ooh, yeah, there you go.
Never be afraid to invest in yourself because you're your own greatest asset.
Mm,
What you put inside of you, or like my grandpa used to tell me, from your mind goes through your hands and it produces whatever you need to produce in this world for you to build wealth with. But it has to first start in your mind, right?
mm,
So always be willing to invest into yourself, invest into your mindset, invest into your mental space, physical space, and financial space. And it'll help you pay for you.
mm,
So I would say always invest. Because everything we do is an investment anyway.
mm,
Everything.
mm.
And it's either for your detriment or your upliftment. Think about it.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
invest in fruits and vegetables, the betterment of your health will be better. But if you invest into McDonald's, you go into the doctor eventually. right? Right? If you
Yeah.
invest into your spiritual being, you get
Hmm.
greater in life. But if you invest
Hmm.
into love and hip hop and all these other frivolous things that we invest in, then next thing you know, your
Yeah.
mind is tarnished. So everything you do is an investment, and it's building up into a bank that's either going to be something that you can withdraw from in the long run, or be an empty space that you're going to wish you had something to withdraw from.
Wow, that's deep. Yeah. And Diana, one thing you would tell a college student, leaving or coming, even an alumni who has already graduated, what is the one thing you would tell them before they get started, I guess, into what you do?
I got two words, two things. The first thing, I'm a believer, so I pray about everything. I don't just make decisions based off of emotions. I don't do that. First thing I'm going to do is talk to God, and that's just who I am. That's first and foremost, but I say the same thing that the other two gentlemen say too. It's all about education. You have to do your own research. You can listen to people, but you need to go fact check that situation, because the thing about the blockchain is documented. Now, one of the, like, just say me and Ricardo were having a conversation earlier today, and he was sharing with me, he was sharing with me about a subject that we disagree upon, right? We always agree to disagree. And, but the thing is, you have to be open also. You have to be open. And because of the level of respect that I have for that man, I start out with always like, I'm telling you up front, I ain't listening, I ain't going to do it. Just I give him that, right? And then I say, okay, now tell me. And then he will pour into me. And then he gives me receipts. He
Mm.
shares with me knowledge. So once he tells me something, he gave me the receipts. Now it's up to me to go read. It is up to me to go do my own due diligence and follow up on what he said. So to me, that's how I feel about the crypto space. Like, because you
Mm.
can't listen to everybody, because people, like, I'll give you an analogy that people, they run with it. The market is very volatile, so it goes up, it comes down. So if somebody puts in $100, and just say that market goes down, and the value in a month or so might say it's at $10, the first thing they do is tell everybody how they lost their money or it was a scam. But that's not true, because they're not educated. The value might have gone down. So, for example, if they had 50 tokens, you're never going to lose the amount of tokens. It's just the value will go up and down because the market is volatile. But when they don't know, their lack of education makes them say, "I lost it. It was a scam. I knew not to do it." That's because they don't know, but they have no idea. This is for me, is one of the greatest wealth transfers I could have ever done in my life. And I have not had the level of success, just say that Cliff or Ricardo has, but I've made hundreds of thousands of dollars in this space. So I don't need to borrow anybody else's belief, but they excite me because I understand that, this is a platform that, if God did it for them, he could do it for me too, because the platform is there. All you have to do is educate yourself and make a decision on, whether you're open to learn. Because I didn't know trading. That's why I went to Cliff. I don't know about precious metals and silvers. That's how me and Ricardo connected as well. I'm open. But if you sit there and you just have that mentality that you don't believe in and you rather listen to other people, you're going to
Mhm.
miss out on the greatest thing. I can't explain to you what it's like to have. I went from two jobs to now I have my time and also have financial freedom. And I'm nowhere near where I want to be. But prayerfully, you see Ricardo's hat that says 2025 it begins. That's my prayer.
Mhm.
2025, this party is about to begin over
Yeah.
here. So I'm excited and I'm looking forward to it, because this is the first time that I'm going to go into this bull market. When I
Okay.
got in and understood, the market was down. So I understand that there's a time where we call it an accumulation phase. So during this accumulation phase, that's where you get an accountability partner and you start reading and you putting your head down. Now we're about to go into that phase of abundance. So I'm excited about that. And everything that I prayed for, everything that we worked so hard for, I have a feeling that it's about to manifest. And wait a
Okay.
minute, you said something earlier about getting a token from Ricardo Silver, and you were going to bless somebody, a student. And I wanted to say, you can pick, let's say three. I don't know why I say three, but I got three kids. I'm going to say three students, and pick them. And let me give them a free educational platform under you for the HBCU original. And I'm going to give them all
Definitely.
like 5,000 tokens, and just let them sit
Definitely.
there. Because sometimes give it to them and let them see what
Mhm.
it does for
Yeah.
themselves. It doesn't cost you anything. Just let that thing
Doesn't.
sit there, but spin the block and come back after that new year and tell us how it did for you, if it did good or if it didn't. And then that way, the next person will be able to say, as a student, whatever that turns into, could you imagine? And then that'll
Could
let
you
the next
imagine?
person say, listen, I got picked somehow from HBCU Originals. They blessed me with 5,000 tokens, and this is what it was able to turn into. and we go from there.
I'll match that.
That is the greatest.
I'm gonna give
That is the greatest.
five free membership into the Blockchain Bro Academy.
Oh
Well,
man, it's a blessing. And
Diana done started something now.
It's like one of those lines, like at Starbucks, so you pay for the person behind you, the person pay for the person behind.
right.
We gotta look out for the students, Cliff. You know how it is. Like we got these students in
Yeah.
college, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
because they need a jump start sometimes. They need a jump start.
Well, we're going to, and one student, I'm going to have to cover their membership, and that costs medals so they can start getting some silver and gold. That costs. So that's, yeah. So let
Hey, and you guys got an announcement you want to make too? Or
in regards to
ding, 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 ding. In regards to the collaboration, Ricardo,
yes,
get the silver. Come on,
go, Diane. Go, Diane, take it away. Take it away, Diane.
Wait, I need the introduction.
Okay,
Come on, get
let's
the
go.
silver.
Let's get ready.
So we're excited about this collaboration. I think it was JL earlier that was saying he loved everything that he heard. We have not dotted every I, we have not crossed every T, but we're putting it together now for that collaboration because of, we'll say blockchain, trading, and precious metals. And we're excited about that because, and just listening to JL speak and listening to you with your passion for the HBCUs. And that's definitely something that resonates well with us because 2 out of the 3, Ricardo's children are smaller, but me and Cliff both have children that go to HBCUs. So it actually has allowed me to just think and have a vision that what if we started putting things together and started educating people? We're definitely going to have an online presence, but what if we did start going to the colleges? What if we started going to the churches? What if we started, speaking to people, and instead of waiting for them to come to us, what if we started going to them? So we decided to make a collaboration, and the name of our collaboration is Every Dollar Counts. That was a name that Cliff would come up with. And Ricardo had a name too. We love them both. But when we think about Every Dollar Counts, we touch on precious metals. We touch on trading. We touch on blockchain. And then there's just purchasing nodes. Cliff says trading futures is the future. So it doesn't matter what area it is because you can just buy and hodl, which is hold tokens like altcoins, and just see where that goes. So we're excited to be able to collaborate. Hopefully, you're going to have us back, Vince, to come back on the platform.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely have you back. We're gonna definitely have you back. And I'm glad you mentioned
but it sounds like just having this conversation about the collaboration, education is key. And we know education is everything. So we probably need to put something together where we are educating people and letting them know that it doesn't matter. We want you, number one, to get into the space. That's first and foremost. And you need to know and understand about trading. You need to know and understand about precious metals, gold and silver. And then you also need to understand about that blockchain because as Cliff spoke earlier, everything is going to be tokenized by 2030. So you can't get around it. Wait a minute. I meant to say this earlier. Cliff spoke about slavery with the blockchain, but you said something on my show one day about Ricardo. You remember what you said? You said, either you're going to be a part of the blockchain or the blockchain's going to, you remember that little saying you said?
Yeah, it was something to that degree dealing with slavery. It's like either the blockchain is going to work for you or you're going to be working for the blockchain. It's very similar to what Cliff, I believe, said something earlier to that degree as well. It's you don't really have an option, to take advantage and get into this space like you think you do. And once you realize that you're going to jump into this space, and the sooner the better for you, because the world is changing, and you have to change with it. Otherwise, you're going to be enslaved to it.
And mentioning, about slavery, I wanted to just introduce something too. So this is a new product we actually have coming out, and I'm proud to be a partner. A buddy of mine's is from Alabama, went to Fisk University, so we definitely partnered together. We're going to bring out a new drink called Artisan Blue, and this is
Mm,
a water that we're producing right now. And this is will be coming out soon in a lot of stores, hopefully on the East Coast. We're just working on some other things, and this is from a slave plantation that
mm.
was purchased by African American man who now produces spring water.
That's what's
So,
up.
Powerful.
um,
It's so
Nice.
powerful.
yeah,
That's one of
Kudos.
the things when
Congratulations.
it comes to the water.
mhm,
Yeah, they just came out
yeah,
even that the fluoride in the water, is not safe at any level in the human body. And so I'm a big advocate for
yeah,
people to bring water, and not this
yeah, we
purified stuff.
definitely.
Yeah, that's
So,
huge.
hey, let's. But listen, I definitely want to have you back on. We want to continue what we're on this particular path, helping people, helping the young people especially because they are the future, and they we can help them build a foundation. I think we can do a lot more. So listen, it was a great show.
Yeah.
We appreciate you guys coming on. Anybody, any last words?
No, just fired up and excited, man. If you want to, follow me on social media, I believe all the, links are
Mhm.
there. Obviously, my website, making some
Yeah,
updates.
tell them where they can find you guys. Where can they find you real quick? Go ahead and speak to them so they
Yeah,
can.
definitely. I'm on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, all the social media, Instagram. Also my website, runwithrick.com, www.runwithrick.com. Continuing to make some enhancements and growing and helping people understand the different tools and resources that are out there to help them get ahead. So definitely plug in.
Yeah, absolutely. You can find me on all the social media outlets as well. You can also find me on the Blockchain Brew Academy .com. That's my networking group. But Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. Look me up. I got you.
All right, same thing here.
Mhm.
You can find me at legacycryptobuilders.com. Is my website. If you want to get in contact with me and consider getting a free educational platform, you can reach me at Diana, Diana dot network, Diana dot network. All the other social
Oh,
media platforms are Legacy Crypto Builders.
yeah, I remember the website's on the bottom, actually on the ticker. If you guys see it, it'll also be in the description when the show airs, as well. And then also, if you want to donate,
Donate to the HBCU original cause.
let me see.
Donate to the HBCU original cause. Help out our broadcast to continue to get out quality info to the viewers.
Hmm, I think we had some issues, but technical.
Donate to the HBCU.
I don't know. But listen, if you want to donate, you guys know where you can donate. HBCU original.com. We also have a nonprofit as well, the United Change. So you can reach out and also make a donation for that. We help back needy families within the community of Philadelphia and local areas. Um, hey, we appreciate you coming on. Thanks, everybody. Peace.
It
All
was
right.
fun.